My husband eats so much food, over 10k calories a day, and has gotten so obese, and I just don't know what to do anymore. He didn't used to be like this. We got married when we were both 25, now we are 33, and he's gone from around 180 to over 450 pounds. Looking at him fills me with horror and despair. He may as well have been diagnosed with terminal cancer, because his size is going to have the same result sometime in the next 10 years, if he doesn't stop. In my heart I no longer believe my husband will be here by the time I'm 50. His medical problems so far: a mini stroke from a blood clot, abnormal heart palpitations, visits both of those times, extremely high blood pressure, extremely high cholesterol, diabetes, didn't check his levels or take insulin as directed until I began reminding him, inability to walk much, uses a scooter sometimes, joint pain, lymphedema in one of his legs, sleep apnea, and has to wear a PAP machine at night so he won't literally die from not breathing. 5 different medications that I manage the scheduling of, or he wouldn't remember, not care, I don't know. His diet: fast food. Goes through drive-thrus on his way to work, way home, and or picks up takeout. McDonald's, Burger King, local Chinese joints, Taco Bell, KFC, Popeyes, Domino's, Dunkin' Donuts, Chick-fil-A, Pizza Hut, Arby's. Also gets all this delivered from Uber Eats whenever he feels like it, which is at least once a day. He even does it in the middle of the night. Everything else is just junk food like chips and other packaged snacks. All sorts of candy, ice cream, baked desserts, frozen, microwave food like breakfast trays and sausages, burritos, Easy Mac, basically anything you could find at a gas station convenience store. All his meals are full of sugar, frying oil, butter, fat and grease, just the worst ingredients that are exactly what he needs to stop eating. We are both WFH right now. I've watched him for a few days this week, keeping a record of everything he ate that I saw. If he ate at night or when I was in another room, I missed those and then looked up the approximate caloric value of every item. Every single day was at least 10,000 calories. The worst day was a little over 14,000. A sedentary male of his age and height needs around 2,500/day, just for comparison. So this has been an ongoing problem for years and just keeps getting worse. Both his diet and the medical consequences. I am terrified that I'm going to be burying him, possibly before we even reach our 50s and get to enjoy old age together. I'm terrified I'm going to have to see the person I love most in the entire world die from a long, drawn out, painful accumulation of treatable illnesses. And some days I wonder if I'm not already watching that in slow motion. I have asked him so many times to please eat healthier. He will. He eats the healthy meals I make, but then he still eats junk food after, or orders a second fast food dinner. He doesn't get it's not enough to combat the damage to his body. I've also begged him to go to the doctor. He only goes when something is catastrophically wrong. See the emergencies in my list above. In fact, most of the more minor problems in that list were only diagnosed because he happened to be at the ER for something major and they found it. I've begged him to see a doctor for a routine, non-emergency checkup, specifically with the aim of building a support plan for weight loss and healthier diet. He says he'll do it, then has excuses why he didn't. I myself have gone ahead and made a couple appointments for him to make sure calling people wasn't stressing him out, and then when the time came he just never went. Same thing with the therapy appointment. I set it up for him and he never went. I wondered, and still do, if there's something like depression at play and this is the form it takes. But I'll never know if he won't talk about it to anyone. He doesn't even talk to me about what's causing it, beyond saying he just likes food and eating makes him happy. I'm reaching a point where I feel like my heart is breaking. Like he's leaving me, even though our relationship is as strong as ever. I don't understand it. Why doesn't he care? What else can I do to get him to take care of himself? Does he not understand that every day he doesn't change is one day closer to him dying young? I live with this fear every single day and I just can't do it anymore. I need to find something that will make him stop. I'm desperate. I cannot just give up. Please give me any suggestions you can think of. I'll try anything. Reddit comments. I gotta ask, how expensive is this? That amount of takeout and delivery. It has to be at least $1K a month, if not more, right? Do you have retirement savings? I know this is framed as a health issue, but I bet this is also a financial issue too. Try up to $2,000 higher than that. We have a combined income of over 100K, but yes, it is a substantial part of our monthly budget. Edit. Just to clarify, it's not always that much. That's just the highest it's gone. I would say in average it runs from $1,500 to $2,000 per month. That's 24K per year. A quarter of your combined incomes is spent on fast food. He needs professional help. A quarter of their gross income, not their net. That's even more insane. Have you told him everything you've told us here? Your concerns, your stress, your fear and constant worry, and that you can't do it anymore? Like any addict, he's not going to stop until he wants to stop and gets professional help to do so. So all you can do is explain exactly and explicitly just how much this is affecting you and hope that he loves you enough to do something about it for both of you. Yes, I've told it all many times. I know he loves me. I believe that because he is as kind and sweet and hardworking as ever. I just don't know why he doesn't make the connection that with every burger he orders he gets closer to leaving me. Unfortunately, addiction is rarely rational. There may be some part of him that does realize that, but it's not the part that is in control right now. So my question for you is, do you want to stick around to watch the person you love slowly kill himself? I think the family intervention idea someone else mentioned is worth a try, but if that doesn't do it, I would really consider leaving. If I were you. Losing you may, I want to stress that it's only a chance. Make him realize the severity of the problem. But if it doesn't, you'll at least know you did everything you could and didn't have to stand by and watch while he eats himself into making you a widow. This is coming from someone who is overweight, but is conscious of it, and is actively trying to lose weight. 10k calories a day is enough for a normal sized man. To gain almost 3 pounds every single day. That is insanity. And to gain almost 300 pounds in 8 years is, wow. At least I have the excuse of being fat my whole life. Your husband has a serious addiction. Plain and simple. He'd have to be crazy to not realize that this is basically slow suicide. But I can tell you really love him or this wouldn't be affecting you so strongly. The thing is though, is that if your husband refuses to change, then you don't deserve to watch him kill himself. That is just cruel. So my suggestion is a tough one. Stage an intervention with his family and friends and a psychiatrist, and, I don't say this lightly, give him an ultimatum. Either he agrees to lose weight. I suggest starting with a weight loss retreat for adults, fat camp. It's not just for kids. To help the addictions to fast food and sugar, or you leave. You need to look out for yourself. If he won't stop killing himself, you deserve to be happy, not watch someone you love do that to himself and die without being able to grow old together. He says food makes him happy. It took a lot of introspection and therapy for me to realize that food definitely did not make me happy. At least not for more than a few seconds. And then it's hell. Heartburn, hives, diarrhea, constipation, hemorrhoids. I ate my feelings. I ate when I was miserable, and it only made me feel more ashamed. I learned to take control of what I put in my mouth, because I'm the only one who can. And it's awful, but you can't force your husband to change. It will only happen if he wants it. That light bulb isn't likely to pop up on its own, though. I had to sit with my therapist and dissect my feelings when I eat to really understand it. It's something I was always too ashamed of to talk about or examine. It was painful. My advice would be, tell him in advance you have something you need to discuss. Tell him he is the love of your life, and it will be hard to talk about, but you are extremely worried he won't live another 10 years. Straight up. Tell him you feel betrayed by his apathy, that it feels like he's willingly leaving you by killing himself every day. I think if he knew the emotional toll and that you are on his side, maybe he'd be willing to take some steps, regular doc visits, therapy, towards a healthier life. I also want to just mention, it's not for everyone, but I love it. Intermittent fasting is what has worked best for me. I also love food, and it does not restrict what you eat, but rather when. I was a bad nighttime binger. Fasting overnight, like you normies, lol, actually helped me appreciate and love food more. Things taste better with a clean palate, and when you're genuinely hungry/ready to eat. He says